everybody, hope you're all well and that you've all had time to spend with your family and loved ones over the summer. As we reach the end of the summer, well, the weather's been pretty awful, but looking back, we've got involved in some great things as we continue in our volunteering journey. We've been involved with Glasgow Golden Generation, and that's offering digital support to the older generation. And there's some great stories. We've helped people get money back from their gas bill. We've helped people recover photographs. So great work going on there. We've also been involved in the paddleboard clean-up, which I must admit does look a bit tricky. And I believe we've had at least one casualty, one person fell in. But I've been told it's great fun and it is for a good cause. Do Good, Feel Good is coming back in October. So I want you to start thinking about how you will get involved. It will be a team event. You can choose a charity. You can visit the Sky Cares website, choose something from there or choose something that's closer to your heart. But get your thinking caps on and start planning for that one. I'm really looking forward to catching up with you all at a regional conference. So that's going to be at the Park Hotel on the 28th of September. And as well as our usual business updates, we'll be giving you updates on FTTP and solar. And that will include the trials that are going on just now, where we've got some teams working on the polls. So lots to come on that. Speak to you all soon.
So now it's time to hear from Martiin McPhee, who's been supporting Glasgow's Golden Generation in Northtown.
So I've been supporting Glasgow's Golden Generation for the past few months now on a weekly basis. The work I've been doing with them is basically helping the older generation get to grips with technology in the forms of smartphones and iPads. So there's 2 sessions a week that I've been helping with. One's based in the David Cargill Centre in the south side of Glasgow, and then the Fred Paton Centre, which is more city centre based. Now, both sessions are very different from each other, but they work so well for the individuals that turn up to each class, and they're kind of tailored to that group. So the first session is at the David Cargill Centre, and this is more of a weekly class. So there's about 14, 15 folk who turn up every week. It's like their own wee social gathering for them, so they'll turn up, they'll have tea, coffee, biscuits, and a good wee chat and blather about the past week and things like that. So these folk didn't know MD at the start, and they've now become like a wee group of friends. Now the session itself gives out weekly quizzes. So Sean is one of the employees for the Glasgow Golden Generation charity, and he creates quizzes for them every week. So the topic's always random and it's always different every week. So the questions are basically so random that nobody would know the answers to. And the reason why they're designed that way is to encourage them to use their smartphones and iPads and things like that to browse the internet. So it's getting them using their devices and getting them used to the internet. So you'll find that the first question will just be so out there, so random. You need to go in, find the answer, note it down. And then there'll be a couple of leading questions from that answer, and it'll involve them having to use like some hyperlinks and things like that. So if you're going to Wikipedia, find the answer for the first one, and then they'll need to search the kind of hyperlink on there and use that. So it's another form of searching without using the Google search. So it's just to try and widen the variety of things that they're doing. Once they're finished that, they then have to type up all the answers that they've found on an email and then send the email off to Sean, and then he will then check the answers and get back to them. And there's normally a wee kind of prize or something like that for the one who get the most or the quickest and things like that. So it's basically getting these folk to use browsing history, emails, and these are folk that didn't have a clue how to use any of this at the start. So it's really, really good to see how they've come in that journey. So they'll come in and they didn't even know how to turn an iPad on, and now very rarely do they actually ask for much support because away they go. They're flying through it now, and that in itself is just great to see how far these people have came. Now the second session, as I said, it's a bit different from this one, and this is more of a drop-in centre. So these folk will come in, it's not the same people every week, it's the same time but not the same people, and they will come in with their own specific technology questions or problems, and we're just there to support as and where we can. So to give an example of this one that sticks out to me was one of my first sessions that I done at the Fred Paton Centre, and it was an elderly woman who came in. Now her only family that she's got left now with her live in Australia, and they have done for several years. So like COVID and things like that, she's not physically seen them in a long time. She does speak to them occasionally, maybe like once a week or once a fortnight on the phone, but that's about as far as the relationship goes with them now. But her daughter gave birth recently, so she became a gran, and she was absolutely delighted and so excited, but she hadn't physically seen her grandson. And her daughter kept saying to her, "You need to get WhatsApp so we can FaceTime, or need to get Zoom," things like this. And it just went right over her head. She didn't know what to do or where to turn to, and she had nobody around about her that she could ask for help. So when she seen the drop-in centre, she thought, ideal. So she's come in, sat down, went over it. So basically, I now set up WhatsApp on her phone. So she went and got herself a new smartphone and all of that, thinking it would just work, and it didn't. So we then installed WhatsApp. Simple thing to do, but she didn't know how to do it. So we've got that installed. We then sent a message to her daughter saying, "Listen, we've came to this wee centre, we've now got it installed, you want to FaceTime us tonight?" So we've done that, and the daughter come back saying, "Ideal, I'll FaceTime you after work, or after her husband come in for work," things like that. So that was that. So let her go, and that was there. So she came back in the following week, and honestly, I've never seen somebody come in with a smile this big. She was absolutely buzzing, and she came running up to me and she's like, "Honestly, I just want to say thank you so much. It was so nice that you helped me do that." And my daughter's FaceTime me every single night this week. So I've seen more of my daughter and spoke to more of my daughter than I have in the past few years. And obviously now I've seen my grandson as well, which is absolutely delightful. So she FaceTimes her every night before bed. And honestly, it was so rewarding. See to see the reaction and how happy it made her. And it's something so simple that I've done is like, we all delete and download different apps all the time. So to download something as easy as WhatsApp for us, but to see how much of an impact this has had on this elderly woman, it was honestly, it was so rewarding, and it was great to hear. So overall, I just feel both sessions are very valuable to all that's involved. So whether it's from the first session where it might be seen as just a wee kind of social class, so it gets them out and about, it's still getting them out and about. They might not have many people to talk to or many family left. So whether they're using it as just as a kind of social gathering for a chat, or whether it is getting the specific issues off their chests and stuff like that with the technology that they may be worried about, stressed about, things like that, it's everybody will look at it differently, and everybody might take something different away from it. But I'm going to use the word rewarding here again, because that's exactly what it is. You basically leave the class weekly feeling that feel-good factor in you, and it's amazing when you can do something to help these people. So if the opportunity comes about again, I would highly recommend it to anybody that can do it, because it is, you won't regret it. It's really, really good.
Hello everyone, it's William McMullan. Most of you will know me from leading the broadband tech team probably for the past 6.5 years. And since integration happened last month, in July, I'm now looking after Team 7. The broadband experts has now fully moved over, and this has probably been one of the biggest changes that's happened to them in the past 6.5 years. And looking back, when we first launched in 2016, obviously this was Carla and Chris Stiliano's kind of brainchild. They were actually first wanting to get the broadband experts out in motorbikes and Harleys, which is, obviously that didn't go over the line, thankfully. Then in January, February time, they put all the leads in place in 2017 to obviously lead the experts. That was my first team as a team manager, team lead. And as we moved on and we evolved, we got butt phones, we got access to Llama, moved on to FTTP, SBC visits, combi ladder training, ACS, OpenReach. So over the years we've slowly evolved and got all the right tools and equipment so that we're able to better service our customers. And the whole integration piece, we moved into North 2 back in July 2022, and then fully integrated the broadband experts into the TV teams in July this year. This has probably been the biggest change and the most impactful to them. And I'm sure that you're making them all feel welcome and getting out and spending time with the broadband experts, and obviously vice versa, broadband experts getting out with the TV engineers and starting to work together and more closely. So me and Jock Fiddis for North Wind, we brought over a customer experience workshop, and looking back now to when we first started the broadband tech team, the broadband experts were sitting at something like 32% NPS. Obviously, we had to do something about it, and we had to support our experts to make sure they were delivering that world-class customer service. Some were external to Sky, some were internal, so we had to give them the right tools, knowledge, and more importantly, the mindset to go out and deliver that world-class customer service. If you think of it a service model only, it can be tricky. Customers are annoyed, especially if we go out and we can't fix the issue and we have to escalate it to Openreach. So we had to give them the mindset not to let things like that affect them, and just move on to the next customer and start dealing with it afresh. So what's next for me? So next month, starting for the 14th of September, running through to the 5th of October, I'm going to be running some sessions in at Glasgow City Park for all the broadband TV trained engineers. These are going to be about Wi-Fi guarantee and utilising your H30 meter when you're on these visits, to make sure that you've got the right support in place if you ever do get these jobs. We do get the normal kind of stuff, sickness, van breakdown, so we need support for TV trained engineers to cover some of these visits. And we're also seeing the ramp up of Wi-Fi Max visits coming through, so we're starting to get busy in all kind of job types, so Wi-Fi Max, broadband, Wi-Fi guarantee. So you may get a job drop in now and again. I think I've dribbled on enough, but if anybody wants to chat or to catch up, please feel free to give me a call. Other than that, I'll catch up with everybody at the Regional Time to Learn at the end of September. Hope you all have a great day. Bye bye.
Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Just want to say thanks to everyone who came along to our North 2 Activity Day on Thursday over at Mugdock Country Park. If you missed it this time, hopefully you'll make our next event. We did have a fantastic day. The weather was really kind to us and it was great to see everyone get involved. I was impressed with the efforts from you all to get a team photograph with an animal in it. Admittedly, there were a few strange entries, and I believe a couple of dogs were borrowed somewhere along the way from unsuspecting passers-by. There were quite a few steps ramped up on the day as well, ranging from just under 12,000 steps to over 20,000 steps, although admittedly over 20,000 steps were ramped up by Team 6, who appeared to get lost. And finally, I just want to say congratulations to Team 7 who won on the day. Well done to you guys. Next event is our regional conference on the 20th of September. That's going to be at the Park Hotel in Kilmarnock, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all there.